2026 is shaping up as the ultimate year for fantasy streaming fans. Binge watch culture is evolving with richer worlds and deeper storytelling experiences now. Fantasy series today deliver cinematic visuals and emotional character development arcs together. Audiences now demand immersive storytelling that keeps them watching entire nights long. Streaming platforms compete fiercely to deliver the best fantasy universes available today. Every fantasy series offers escape into worlds beyond imagination and reality itself. In 2026, storytelling becomes more complex, emotional, and visually stunning experiences. Fans are searching for series that blend magic, action, and emotion perfectly. Fantasy binge watching has become a global entertainment habit for millions worldwide audience. The best series combine storytelling depth with unforgettable world-building elements perfectly. One of the most popular fantasy series is the Witcher adaptation series. The Witcher follows monster hunter Geralt across dark, dangerous kingdoms filled with magic politics. Its storytelling blends myth, destiny, and brutal emotional survival themes together perfectly. Geralt's journey explores fate, identity, and choices shaping entire world itself deeply. This series remains a top pick for dark fantasy lovers worldwide audiences. Action sequences and emotional depth make it highly addictive to watch always. The world building creates a gritty yet magical universe full of danger constantly. Fans appreciate its complex characters and morally gray storytelling approach deeply today. Every episode builds tension leading towards unpredictable, fantasy-driven consequences, unfolding constantly now. The Witcher continues dominating fantasy streaming charts, with global popularity still growing. Another standout fantasy series capturing attention is Shadow and Bone adaptation. Shadow and Bone follows a magical world divided by darkness and light. The protagonist discovers powerful abilities that could change entire nations forever completely. Its story combines romance, war, magic, and political conflict seamlessly together perfectly. Fans love its detailed universe and emotional character-driven storytelling style always strong. Every season expands the magical Grishaverse with deeper lore and conflict ongoing. The visual effects bring magic systems to life in stunning detail completely. It remains one of Netflix's strongest fantasy adaptations in recent years still. Characters evolve through trauma, loyalty, and difficult moral decisions constantly together always. Shadow and Bone is perfect for fans of dark magical storytelling worlds. Another major anticipation is the Harry Potter television series soon worldwide. Harry Potter TV series reimagines Hogwarts with deeper book-based storytelling experience now. It explores characters and magical lore in far greater detail now. Fans expect more faithful adaptation of beloved novels and scenes finally. Hogwarts becomes more immersive with modern cinematic visual storytelling techniques used. The series dives deeper into emotional character development and friendship strongly. Magic, mystery, and adventure return with enhanced production and detail quality. New generations will experience Hogwarts like never before in streaming form. The wizarding world expands beyond what films previously could show fully. This adaptation aims to capture every detail from original books carefully. It promises a long-term fantasy binge experience for loyal fans alike. Emotional arcs will be expanded more than ever before seen ever. The series could redefine fantasy television for future storytelling standards globally. Expect deeper exploration of friendships, rivalry, and magical school life themes. This reboot brings nostalgia and innovation together in one experience powerful. Harry Potter universe continues inspiring new fantasy writers and creators everywhere. The magical journey of Harry still resonates with global audiences today. Fans eagerly await this reimagined version of iconic fantasy story series. Streaming success is expected due to massive built-in fan base worldwide. Hogwarts remains one of the most beloved fantasy locations ever created. This series strengthens fantasy genre presence in modern streaming era today. It bridges generations of fans through timeless magical storytelling, appeals strongly. Expect emotional depth combined with rich world building and character arcs together. The wizarding world continues evolving while staying true to origins always. This adaptation may become defining fantasy television moment of decade itself. Fans worldwide prepare for as fantasy streaming evolves. Audiences crave richer and more complex storytelling universes. Every new series now focuses on emotional depth alongside visual spectacle constantly. Binge watch culture thrives on immersive worlds that feel alive and unpredictable always. One major highlight continues to be the Rings of Power expansion story. It explores ancient Middle-earth history long before the events of legendary films. The series dives into creation of powerful rings and rising dark forces. Elves, men, and kingdoms collide in a beautifully crafted fantasy timeline unfolding. Every episode reveals secrets shaping future events known from Tolkien mythology deeply. The storytelling emphasizes destiny, corruption, and hope within epic fantasy landscapes always. Viewers are drawn into breathtaking visuals and emotional storytelling combined perfectly together. Another powerful fantasy series gaining attention is The Wheel of Time. It follows a world where prophecy determines fate of entire civilizations rising. Magic users called Aes Sedai guide events, shaping global balance of power. The Dragon Reborn prophecy creates tension across nations and kingdoms everywhere now. Each character slowly discovers their role in shaping destiny of world itself. The series focuses on long-term storytelling and deep character evolution arcs strongly. Fantasy lovers appreciate its slow build-up and detailed magical system structure. Every season increases stakes, bringing larger conflicts and emotional decisions forward always. The world feels vast, ancient, and filled with hidden magical secrets everywhere. It remains a strong choice for viewers who enjoy epic fantasy journeys. Meanwhile, The Sandman continues redefining fantasy with dreamlike storytelling and mythology blend. It explores Dream, an eternal being controlling imagination, dreams, and nightmares' realms. After escaping captivity, Dream must rebuild his kingdom and lost power carefully. The series blends surreal visuals with emotional and philosophical storytelling themes deeply. Every episode feels like stepping into different realms of imagination and reality. It explores human emotions through metaphysical and supernatural fantasy storytelling layers. The Sandman stands out for its artistic and deeply symbolic narrative style. Fans admire its unique tone compared to traditional fantasy adventure shows today. Every character represents deeper ideas about existence, dreams, and human consciousness itself. It is ideal for viewers seeking thoughtful and artistic fantasy storytelling experiences. Another rising fantasy hit is One Piece live-action adaptation series. It follows Monkey D. Luffy on journey to become Pirate King legend. Luffy gathers diverse crew members with unique abilities and emotional backstories deeply. The series mixes adventure, humor, friendship, and emotional storytelling perfectly together always. Each island introduces new challenges, enemies, and unforgettable world-building elements constantly. The story emphasizes freedom, dreams, and unbreakable bonds between crew members strongly. Viewers enjoy its energetic pacing and colorful fantasy world design throughout series. The adaptation brings anime storytelling to global live-action audience successfully now. Every arc builds emotional investment in characters and their personal dreams deeply. It remains one of most exciting fantasy adventures for binge-watch audiences today. Fantasy series in 2026 are also embracing darker psychological storytelling themes increasingly. Characters now face internal conflicts as much as external magical battles always. This shift creates deeper emotional connection between viewers and fictional characters strongly. Writers focus on moral ambiguity instead of clear good versus evil narratives. This makes fantasy worlds feel more realistic and emotionally grounded for audiences. Even heroes struggle with identity, fear, and consequences of their choices deeply. Viewers now prefer stories that reflect human complexity within magical settings always. Streaming platforms invest heavily in high-quality fantasy production and world-building design. Visual effects technology allows creation of more immersive and believable fantasy worlds. As a result, fantasy storytelling has reached new cinematic levels globally today. Binge-watching these series becomes emotional journey rather than simple entertainment experience alone. Each show offers unique perspective on power, destiny, and personal transformation arcs. Audiences often find themselves emotionally attached to fictional characters and their journeys. Fantasy series now compete with As fantasy series evolve, emotional payoffs become more powerful than ever before. Every storyline now builds toward unforgettable climaxes and meaningful character resolutions. Viewers are no longer satisfied with simple endings or predictable story arcs. Instead, they crave emotional depth that lingers long after episodes finish. Fantasy storytelling in 2026 focuses heavily on transformation and personal sacrifice themes. Characters often reach breaking points that redefine their entire existence completely. These moments create some of the most unforgettable scenes in modern television. Every series finale now aims to deliver emotional impact and visual spectacle together. Writers carefully design endings that reflect the journey's emotional truth deeply always. This makes binge watching feel like completing a long emotional journey experience. One key masterpiece trend is redemption arcs that completely transform villain characters. These arcs allow audiences to understand pain behind destructive actions and choices. Fantasy series now emphasize that even darkness can contain hidden humanity within. This creates powerful emotional moments where enemies become unexpectedly relatable characters. Viewers are often shocked by how deeply layered antagonists have become today. Redemption stories bring emotional closure while challenging moral assumptions of audience. These narratives make fantasy more emotionally realistic and psychologically compelling always. Every redeemed character adds depth to the overall world-building experience itself. Such storytelling creates emotional satisfaction beyond traditional victory-based conclusions alone. Fantasy series now focus on healing rather than just defeating enemies completely. Another major trend is large-scale war finales between magical kingdoms and forces. These battles combine emotional storytelling with breathtaking visual effects and choreography. However, wars now emphasize emotional consequences rather than just physical destruction alone. Characters lose loved ones, homes, and identities during these climactic events always. This adds emotional weight that makes victories feel bittersweet and meaningful deeply. Every battle becomes reflection of inner struggles faced throughout entire series journey. Fantasy storytelling now blends personal growth with global conflict resolution themes strongly. This combination makes final episodes deeply impactful and memorable for viewers. Emotional storytelling ensures audiences remain connected even after series concludes fully. These endings often leave lasting impressions that influence viewer perspective long term. Many fantasy series now conclude with open-ended storytelling for future exploration. This allows audiences to imagine continuation of character journeys beyond screen. It also creates anticipation for spin-offs and extended universe expansions later. Writers use this technique to keep fantasy worlds alive beyond main series. Viewers appreciate endings that respect imagination and personal interpretation of story. Every conclusion becomes beginning of new possibilities within same universe structure. Fantasy storytelling thrives when worlds feel endless and continuously evolving always. These open endings maintain audience engagement long after final episode airs. It creates lasting emotional connection between viewers and fictional universes created. Fantasy becomes more than entertainment, transforming into lifelong imaginative experience deeply. Streaming platforms now invest heavily in cinematic-level fantasy production quality globally. This ensures every scene feels like part of a blockbuster experience. Visual storytelling enhances emotional impact of characters and magical environments significantly. Technology allows creation of worlds previously impossible to imagine or film. This advancement elevates fantasy genre into new era of visual excellence. Audiences now expect film-quality storytelling from every fantasy series available today. Competition between platforms drives innovation in storytelling and world-building design constantly. This results in more immersive and visually stunning fantasy experiences worldwide. Fantasy series are now cultural phenomena influencing global entertainment trends heavily. Their impact extends beyond screens into discussions, art, and fan creations. The emotional connection viewers form with characters defines success of series. Every fantasy story now aims to create lasting emotional resonance deeply within. These connections make binge watching feel personal and emotionally transformative experience. Always. Fantasy series in 2026 are no longer just entertainment, but emotional experiences. Every show invites viewers into worlds shaped by imagination, conflict, and destiny. Binge watching has become a journey through multiple realities and emotional transformations. Each series leaves viewers questioning their own understanding of courage and purpose. The best fantasy stories now blend mythology, psychology, and human emotion together. This combination creates unforgettable viewing experiences that stay in memory forever. Audiences are drawn to characters who reflect their own hidden struggles and dreams. Fantasy becomes a mirror showing what people fear, desire, and hope for. Every episode builds emotional tension that leads toward meaningful storytelling payoffs. Viewers feel personally connected to journeys unfolding across magical worlds today. The rise of fantasy series shows how powerful storytelling has become globally. These narratives offer escape while also revealing deeper truths about human nature. Each story encourages viewers to reflect on their own life choices deeply. Heroes in these series remind us that growth always begins with struggle. Even fictional worlds teach real lessons about resilience, sacrifice, and transformation. Fantasy storytelling now bridges emotional imagination and real-world personal development together. This is why binge watching feels so immersive and emotionally engaging today. Every series creates a unique emotional journey that feels personally meaningful always. Viewers are not just watching stories, they are living emotional experiences deeply. This connection makes fantasy one of the most powerful genres in entertainment. The evolution of fantasy series shows increasing focus on character-driven storytelling now. Action and magic support emotional arcs rather than dominating the narrative alone. This shift creates more meaningful and long-lasting viewer satisfaction overall today. Writers prioritize emotional depth over simple spectacle and predictable storytelling patterns. Every character arc is carefully designed to reflect real emotional transformation journeys. Even fantasy worlds now feel grounded in emotional truth and realism always. This balance keeps audiences deeply invested across entire seasons without losing interest. Streaming platforms continue investing in high-quality storytelling for global audiences everywhere. The competition ensures constant innovation in fantasy world-building and narrative design. This results in richer and more diverse fantasy experiences than ever before. Viewers now have access to endless fantasy universes at their fingertips instantly. This accessibility makes binge watching a global cultural phenomenon in modern entertainment. Fans discuss theories, characters, and storylines across communities and social platforms daily. Fantasy series have become shared experiences connecting people across different cultures worldwide. Every story becomes a part of larger conversation about imagination and human creativity. These discussions deepen emotional engagement and expand interpretation of each series further. Fantasy storytelling is no longer passive, but interactive and community-driven today. This engagement strengthens emotional connection between audience and fictional worlds created. Each viewer becomes part of expanding universe through imagination and discussion always. This makes fantasy genre more alive than any other entertainment category today. The future of fantasy series promises even more immersive storytelling innovations ahead. Technology will continue enhancing visual realism and emotional depth of narratives further. Artificial intelligence and CGI will expand possibilities of world building beyond limits. Storytelling will become even more personalized and emotionally responsive to audiences. Fantasy universes may soon adapt dynamically based on viewer interaction and choice. This evolution will redefine how people experience stories in digital age. Yet emotional core of storytelling will always remain central to fantasy genre, because imagination alone cannot replace human emotion and connection in stories. Fantasy will continue reflecting humanity's deepest hopes and fears forever onward. Every new series will add another layer to this evolving storytelling legacy. Ultimately, fantasy binge watching is about escaping reality while understanding it better. These stories teach that transformation is possible no matter where you start. Every character journey reminds us that change begins with a single decision. Viewers find inspiration in heroes who overcome impossible obstacles,